How's that? Awesome. Hi, welcome back to the office. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I've been getting out more and doing stuff with my sister, so I've just been feeling a lot better.
Oh, that's so good to hear. I'm so glad. What did you guys get up to?
Well, she took me to this museum and I just loved it. I just love museums and we had a good time. And then we went to dinner and I met like a guy, but I
Ooh,
don't know.
that sounds exciting. Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah, it was
Good.
it was good.
Good. I'm so glad. Did anything else come up in your week?
No, I got notified that I am in not like I got the scholarship, but I'm in the next process.
Oh, that's so exciting. Congratulations. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was very excited, but I know I didn't get it yet, but like I'm in the next round, so
Yeah, you're one step closer. That's a big thing. Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
yeah.
What kind of scholarship was it?
It was a scholarship for so they pay for 2 years of your undergrad. And since like I'm in my sophomore year, I'll only have to get coverage for one more semester if I get it. But it's
Mm-hmm.
for psychology
Yeah.
majors.
Wow. That could be a really big deal.
Yeah.
How are you, I guess, what are you thinking about it in relation to kind of where you are right now with your parents and school and everything?
Um, I'm not sure. I just I'm happy I got it, but I don't know if my dad will like make me like tell them I can't receive it.
Hmm.
So I'm like nervous to tell them if I do get it.
Okay.
Or I kind of feel like I don't want to tell them, but then I feel
Yeah.
like they will get mad at me if I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that sounds tough. Have you, so you think that your dad would still be mad even if he wasn't paying for it? He would still be mad for you going into psychology? Yeah.
Yeah, he just he really wants us to be like a family of engineers.
Okay.
Um, so like even if he wasn't paying for it, I feel like he would still try to assert his authority over other things. I mean, they already took my
Mm,
car away,
right.
so he'll probably take my allowance or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's really difficult. How are you feeling about all of this? How are you managing?
Um, I was happy and then I got sad thinking about telling them, but I don't know. I didn't even tell Fairy, so
Mm, why didn't you tell
I'm
her?
just because it's not a sure thing yet, so I don't know
Hmm.
if I got it or not. Um, also, well, I mean, she's never like told them anything I said, but I feel like if they would ask, she would say that because she's
Hmm.
always an honest person.
Hmm.
So I just wasn't ready to tell her.
If you do get it, are you going to tell her, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to just say nothing and then just pop
Yeah.
up at school like, "Hi, I'm back."
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but I feel like she would think I lied to her, so I
Mm,
feel like I would tell her if it's a sure thing.
yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Do you feel like, have you ever been in that situation before where you've been kind of needing to keep something from Fairy or having keeping something from Fairy before?
Um, yes. Well, um, so when we were 16, I won like the it's like this thing where you can do college and still be in high school, but they'll pay for it for
Yeah.
engineers. And so I won that, and she didn't. She also applied, but she didn't get it. But I didn't tell her because I felt bad because she really wanted it. But at that time, I really loved engineering too, so I was happy. But I was like, oh, my sister didn't get it, so I didn't tell her until like I started.
And how did she react to it?
She was upset.
Okay.
And she was like, I never want you to feel like you can't tell me things because you think like I'll get upset, but like I don't know.
What don't you know?
I don't know. Like I just I don't know. I've always felt like I was second to Fairy, and so since I got something she didn't, and then that was also the time where like she came out and like everyone was supporting her. I felt like they would think I took that spot from her.
Do you feel like your needs are second to Fairy's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
How do you think that affects how you think about yourself?
Well, I know since our last session that I do put other people's feelings before mine. Um, and then it makes me like feel lonely because I'm like, well, who's asking about me? Like, not she asked and stuff, but like, I've always put her before me.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think, did that happen before Fairy came out?
Yeah, well, I'm older by like 10 minutes. I'm like the older sibling, so I've always looked out for her, like when we're on the playground or whatever. When she would get bullied, because like she wasn't like a normal boy or what they think before she came out. She would get bullied. I'm like, don't bully, my brother, don't do that. And now like she's come out, I feel protective over her.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense with, what she's been through and kind of like seeing, the bullying and everything. It makes sense that you would feel really protective over her. And I think that's a really good strength of yours, that you really care about her and you are willing to take care of her. Um, do you think you want to continue being Fairy's protector, or do you think there is a different dynamic you would want to have?
Um, I think I want a different dynamic only because I know she'll always need me, but she doesn't really need me to be a protector anymore. Um, she's like branched out and she's able to stand up for herself now. And like I said, she's like the social butterfly. So I know she'll need me, but I don't think she needs me in that way anymore. And her partner is like very protective of her too. So
Okay. Yeah. How we didn't talk about this last time at all, but how is it for you being a twin? Do you feel like that's something really important in your identity, or do you think that's something like how does that affect you?
I think it's very important. Like when I meet people, I'm like, hi, I'm Elizabeth, but I have a twin sister, and like we look alike. We don't look that much alike, but we favor each other.
Yeah.
And it's always like, oh, the twins. And it's like, that has been me since I was born.
Okay. Yeah. Kind of reflecting on that now, how does that make you feel?
Um, I don't want to be just known as Fairy's twin anymore. Because I want my own identity. And I
Mm-hmm.
think when I discovered psychology, I began to get that. And it
Yeah.
made me happy. Like, oh, they was like the twins do engineering, they do mechanical engineering. Now it's like Barry does engineering, I do psychology. Well, it
Yeah.
would look like that if I could be
Yeah.
able to do psychology. But yeah.
Right. And you think, do you think that kind of being able to do psychology and kind of choose your own things would be, um, I guess, how would that affect your life and your relationship with Barry?
I don't know. Um, like I said, I used to always like tag along with her and her friends. But now that I'm not doing that, I think she feels like a certain way about it.
Mm.
Um, it's like last month she was like, "Me and my friends are going to this cafe. Like, do you want to come?" And I'm like, "No, I just want to stay home." And she was like, "Why?" And I was like, I don't want to." And then I told her, I was like, I feel like they are your friends and not mine. She was like, no, like everyone knows, like we're we're partners. Like if you get one, you get the other. Like everyone knows that. But I don't want it to be that way like anymore. Like you see her, you see me.
Yeah.
I want to get my own identity and find my own group of friends.
Yeah. That sounds really important to me. Do you think that's something you want to explore more, or do you think that's something that might be a journey outside of therapy?
I think that's something I want to explore more. Figure
Okay.
out what or who I am without being like the daughter of engineers and the sister
Mhm.
of fairy.
Yeah, that makes
Figure
sense.
who I am.
How do you feel about your identity right now? What do you see as the big parts of your identity and how they kind of work together?
Well, I know I'm a black woman. I'm heterosexual. I'm cisgendered. I'm a Christian. That's pretty much all I know. Like, um, and I know I'm very gifted and super intelligent, super smart, very good at math. Um, I don't know.
Is religion a really big part of your life? You mentioned you're Christian.
It used to be
Okay.
um, anymore. Like I still wear my cross, but
Yeah.
I haven't been really into faith lately.
Was there a reason that changed?
Yeah, like when I started realizing what was happening with my parents and me, and then me and being depressed, I was just like, why am I going through this? Like I feel like I'm a good person. I haven't
Mhm.
done anything. Like
Mhm.
so I just didn't understand and my faith like kind of rescinded.
I think that makes sense. It sounds like it was something that was really important to you and still is somewhat, but it's hard when you're not getting what you need out of a community necessarily. Is that kind of how you're feeling about that?
Yeah, and I mean I prayed about it and everything, but nothing has changed. So
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just confused.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. That's really difficult. Do you think you want, after kind of things ease up with your parents, do you think you want to go back to more religious, more religion things, or do you think it's going to be something that you've stepped away from more?
I
Yeah,
don't know. I kind of feel like I want to step away from it a little
yeah,
more. Um, just to, I don't know, like see what's out there.
Yeah.
But I don't really consider myself religious anymore. Just like spiritual, like I believe there's a God, but
Mhm.
I don't know like what religion I would actively do. I don't know if Christianity is something I still want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, developing your own identity, there's a lot of things to that. And you don't necessarily have to do what, your parents raised you kind of to do if that's not what feels right anymore.
Mm. I used to feel bad about it. Like my parents, they're very devout, and
Mm,
it's just I think this is like the way they are, and then they're like we're Christians. It just put a bad taste in my mouth.
mm. Can you tell me about that?
Well, my dad would be like, God told me to tell you that you need to do engineering, or God told me to tell you to do this. But I'm like, if I feel like he just uses that to get me to do what he wants me to do, and I hate that.
Yeah. What part about it?
Like that he's using God to convey what he wants me to do, as if he thinks that will make me do what he wants me to do, because he
Mm-hmm.
brought me God into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe he's kind of thinking that his authority in the family is, a little bit in question and is trying to kind of bring something else in to kind of keep that place stable in the family. Um, Shifting gears a little bit, I wanted to check in on how you've been doing kind of with self care and with taking care of yourself. Has How has that been lately?
And it's been very good since the last time we talked. I
Good.
got out of bed, I did my hair, I like got dressed today, and I went out and I got coffee, and I met the guy that I was talking about for coffee this morning.
Yeah.
It was nice. He's super nice. Um, and then I took a walk, and I went to the pet shop because I love cats. So I was just playing with the cats. And then I came back here for our session.
It sounds like a really good day. Do you, for me, kind of looking at it compared to last time we met, it's a really big difference. That's something you should be really proud of, being able to kind of make such a big jump. That's You went literally from, you know, walking in the door and not being able to get out of bed, and now you're getting coffee with a guy and going to the pet store and having a great day. That sounds really cool.
I'm almost scared that like it's too fast. Like I don't know if I could like keep up with it. But every time I wake up, I tell myself like it's another day. It's another day to be better. It's another day to just try something new.
Yeah,
And I tell myself like you're worthy, you're beautiful, and it's okay to think about yourself and do things for yourself. And like that's been working.
that's really cool. You like affirmations then?
Yeah, I think they help a lot. Um, Only because I haven't gotten a lot of them
Yeah,
uh, since I was like 16. So
yeah. Kind of sometimes giving yourself what you need is the best thing you can do.
yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Um, I was wondering if there was anything that you kind of wanted to touch on from our last session. Now that we've already gotten into it, sorry I didn't check in first. If there was anything you wanted to follow up on?
Well, I know we talked about me talking to my mom
Yeah.
first,
How did that go?
and I hadn't like full on talked to her,
Hmm.
but like every now and then I'll just be like, hey, um, I'll say like a random fact about like psychology, and she'll be like, "Oh, that's really interesting." I'm like, "Right, right." So I'm like doing that, or I'll say something about like our childhood, like when we went to Ghana. She's like, "Yeah, we had so much fun there," and so I started that.
How's that feeling?
It feels great. I like the way she reacted to me. Like she was happy to listen to me and have that conversation with me.
Good, I'm glad. Do you think kind of as you kind of continue talking and maybe have, you know, longer conversations, maybe deeper conversations, what do you imagine that to be like?
Um, like how the conversation would go.
Yeah.
Um, I think well, I think they'll go good. Um, I feel like she would hear me out and she would listen to me, but I still don't know if she would try to help me.
Mm,
In terms of my dad,
yeah. Okay. And how do you feel about that?
it hurts, but my mom and my dad have been together for like 30 years now. They met when they were in high school, like freshman year. So they, I don't know. Like, I feel like I've only been in their life like 20 years. I don't know if my relationship means as much to her as her relationship with my dad.
I'm kind of also hearing maybe, do you think you don't mean as much to her?
Sometimes, yeah.
Why do you think that?
Just her actions. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know. It feels like, I don't know how to say it, but like she loves me in silence, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Like she, when it's just me and her, like she's all mom and like, oh, you look so cute today. Oh, let me do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. But like when my dad comes around, it's just like, oh, she doesn't even know who I am.
Mm. You said something really, I think, powerful to me. Loving you in silence. Um, how how does that feel to not have her show love in front of your dad or elsewhere when you're not just alone with her?
It hurts. Like it hurts a lot. And
Mhm.
I don't like understand like what did I do to like deserve this, and like my childhood was like good, like we were all good, and then I don't know, I just feel like I know she loves him and everything,
Mhm.
but like I'm your child, so where's my love?
Yeah, yeah, that's really powerful to me. It also sounds like a big shift, I think, from looking at it. Really, it sounds like you're starting to kind of look at it from a perspective of, this is, why are you treating me like this? I am, I'm your child. I'm supposed to be special. Why are you treating me like this? Do you feel like that's kind of like where you're feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel that way for like both of my parents.
Hmm.
I understand.
Yeah. And what would a what would the perfect relationship look like with your mom?
Um, her like standing up for me in front of my dad, her accepting me the way I am, accepting that I don't like doing certain things that they like, or her being okay with that, me being able to talk to her about anything and her listen, um, and her just like telling me that she loves me,
Mm.
um, regardless of who I am or what I might be.
Does that feel like it's something that could happen, or does that feel like it's too far?
Um, I feel like that's something that could still happen. I still want to have hope for that. Like I haven't just like completely shut that out. I
Yeah,
still have.
good. Okay. Do you think that that might be kind of where some of the we talked about some goals last week, and um, kind of how I've been looking at it, it sounds like kind of attached to, your relationships with people, and maybe kind of how they function differently. We talked about being able to talk to your parents, but kind of as you've said, there's interacting with your mom and there's interacting with your parents together, and they're completely different things. Um, do you think that having a goal related to improving your relationship with your mother is something that you'd be interested in exploring?
Yeah, I definitely want that. I miss her.
Yeah.
Like I miss just hanging out with her now. We don't get to do that.
Okay. So, how far away does it feel like? Do you feel like that's something that could, like, how long do you think it would take for you to be able to, you know, hang out with your mom? And what would that
Um,
look like?
well, I feel like it would take a couple months, but next week my dad is going on a business trip.
Okay.
So I was hoping to like talk to her then because he won't be around.
Okay. What do you what do you foresee that looking like?
I don't know. I'll be like, hey, do you want to have dinner together? And my mom loves going out to eat to restaurants. So we'll probably go to like a real nice restaurant and like talk. I feel like she'll say yes. And then I will tell her. Also, next Monday, I receive, well, I get the information of if I get the scholarship. So I feel like that would be, if I get it, that would be a good time to tell her.
Yeah.
Um, I'm scared. I don't know.
Yeah. What are you scared of?
What? I don't know about how she'll react. Well, I kind of want to tell them that, like, because I do like engineering. I like it. I just don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to tell them, like, we can make a compromise and I can just double major in engineering and psychology. That way we can both be happy. I don't know how she'll feel about that.
Is that what you want, or do you think you're just trying to make them happy?
I feel like it'll make things easier. And then that way I only have like 2 years left in college. So I can just do that and then I'll be able to make my own money and do things I want to do.
Okay. Okay. And you think that doing this double majoring to hopefully make your parents happy is something you want to do for these last 2 years of college?
Um, yes and no. Like I'll do it if I have to.
Mm,
But I don't know if I really want to do that. I feel like I would just offer that up.
yeah. I think something that, go ahead.
No, I don't know.
That's really tough. Something I've been noticing, kind of while we've been talking, is you do kind of have a really strong understanding of, yourself and what you want. Um, and you're very you're wanting to make your family happy, and wanting them to be happy is sounds like it's something you're putting above your own happiness often. And what do you think would happen if you decided to put yourself first and went with psychology, got this scholarship, and continued doing psychology for the last 2 semesters or 2 years? Sorry.
I think they wouldn't talk to me anymore.
Hmm.
I think they'll just like cut me out and then like act like Fairy's the only child.
Okay. Why do you think that?
So my dad has mentioned it before, like
Hmm.
if you don't go back to engineering, like we're cutting you off and you're getting kicked out and you'll never see us.
Okay. Okay. That's that's really tough. That's a lot to hear as a kid. I mean, you're not a little kid anymore, but that's still your dad. That's I'm really sorry that he said that to you. That's a lot.
Hmm. I'm just apprehensive about it.
Yeah.
Um, so like with my scholarship, it covers tuition,
Mm-hmm.
so I would need help still covering like my dorm or an apartment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll either have to get a job or I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that could be something that after you hear the results of your scholarship, I think that could help you figure out where kind of the route that you might need to take, whether it be pursuing school with the scholarship, without the scholarship, or something else. Um, it sounds like it's kind of all hinging on this scholarship that you're waiting to hear back on.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is why like I opposed to like compromise of doing both.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't hate it, but
Right.
I'll I'll be open to it.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to switch gears just a little bit. Um, you had said this week was going a bit better. Um, could you tell me kind of how your mood has been? You said today was really, you had a lot of good things going on. Could you tell me a little bit about how your mood has been this past week?
It's been good. It's been better. I still had like Wednesday. I was still in bed all day, but um, I was reading again, and I finally got back to like reading for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still in bed, but I was reading,
Okay.
and it's been good. Like the sun has been out, and that has made me want to go outside. I'm not as my room is clean. Like I cleaned my room, and it's just been Good.
That's good to hear. You you said you started reading again. Do you feel like other kind of things that you used to love to do but were having kind of trouble with through in the past, the previous week? Do you feel like this past week has kind of improved a lot of those kind of getting back into things you love?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely started. Um, like I used to love going outside. I'm just like, oh, I'll go outside today, and then I stay outside for like 4 hours, just being outside and with nature. It just made me feel so much better.
Good, good. Um, would you say you had any kind of like feelings of being down or sad this week at all?
Um, Wednesday, yeah, when I woke up, I just didn't want to do anything.
Okay.
I feel like Monday and Tuesday, like, cause I was just doing stuff that day, like I went outside, I went here, I went there. Wednesday, I was like, I'm just tired, so I'm gonna sit here, but I'm gonna try to read for fun like I usually do. And I read like 3 books that day.
That's a lot. That's fun.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. Um, and how are you sleeping lately?
Better.
Better?
Um, I used to like get like 4 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm getting like 7, and only waking up like once to use the bathroom, but then I'm able to go like right back to sleep.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Do you feel, are you feeling tired or more refreshed when you wake up?
Yeah, I feel more rested.
Okay. Good. Good. Um, okay. So we've got about 20 minutes left today. I was wondering if we could maybe go over kind of setting a treatment plan for where we want to move forward with. We've talked a little bit here and there about some things we want to focus on, and I'm wondering um, we want to, if it would be good to kind of like finalize some stuff. So I have some notes to help keep us on track as we're moving forward, so I can um, get some materials together to figure out what's going to be the most helpful for you. Okay. Okay. So we've talked a bit about some of the goals that you have discussed. Were there any that stand out as really important to you?
Um, Talking to my mom and
Okay.
then getting back into school.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I think another thing that I had noticed kind of going in with that is kind of putting others before yourself as well. Um, do you think that's something that you might want to focus on as well?
Yes, I feel like focusing on that will help me make a decision when
Okay.
going back to school.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay. So we kind of also talked about kind of developing your own identity. Do you think that's something you would want to focus on, or is that kind of secondary to kind of working through kind of being able to talk with, your parents and um, yeah, deal with kind of those feelings?
I feel like that's primary
Okay.
only because I feel like knowing who I am will help me get the confidence I need to talk to them.
Okay. Okay. I'm just writing down kind of some notes about what we're talking about right now, so we have kind of like a roadmap for our sessions moving forward. So I've got that we're going to help get some skills built on being able to talk with your parents and kind of figure out what you might need for those conversations and try to prepare you for them and know manage any emotions that come up during them. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yes.
Okay. And then we were also talking about kind of developing an identity for yourself, kind of separate from who Fairy is, who your parents want you to be, and kind of being able to understand yourself. We also talked about being able to put yourself first and maybe have your needs prioritized over others. I think that might fit in a little bit with being developing your identity. Does that sound like it? Yeah. Okay. And then going back to school. What do you think you would need support with about going back to school?
Like financial support,
Okay.
confidence, really.
Okay.
'Cause I feel like I'm behind, but I know it's only been like a semester, but like, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm behind.
Mm-hmm.
And then just, well, I really want the support of my family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So kind of the big things that I am kind of identifying, I think, with all our smaller goals is that you want to be able to develop your relationship with your parents and you want to develop yourself, your self-esteem, and your confidence. Does that sound like two good goals to focus on for right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, and what would it look like for you to, I guess, be able to develop that sense of self and kind of have confidence in yourself? What does that look like to you?
I think it looks like me speaking up um, about what I want and saying no to what I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll look like me not compromising on things, but I want to have that confidence to say no.
Yeah.
Um, and then I want to have that confidence to be able to be independent and not depend on others as much as I have.
Okay. Yeah. And how what would you say your timeline is for thinking about that? Like how far away does that feel?
Um, a couple months. I want to. Well, I don't know if this is rushing, but I want to have like some skills and stuff before the school semester starts next year. So
Okay.
in January.
So you said it sounds like rushing. Could you tell me about that?
Well, I don't know. Like, will I be able to like be like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm doing psychology and I'm starting in the spring semester. I don't know.
I think is the spring semester about 5 months away? 5, 6 months maybe?
Yeah.
5 months maybe? Do you think you'd be able to develop any self-confidence between now and then?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Then, and do you feel like that's something that is going to be really valuable kind of to start out with, kind of moving into school? Just a self-confidence
Yeah.
piece? Okay. 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 All right. And then let's talk a little bit about kind of like building your relationship with your parents. We had talked about what it kind of would look like to kind of be able to have a relationship with your mom. And we kind of talked about that would be maybe like a couple months away from being achievable. What are you thinking it looks like to have a relationship with your dad?
Um, I feel like it would look like me being able to stand up for myself and him not being so condescending and so closed off. He became like emotionally unavailable, so it's just like I feel no love from him.
Okay.
I want him to be affectionate with me, um, and like treat me like I'm his daughter and
Mm-hmm.
not like an employee. I
Mm-hmm.
feel. Um,
Okay.
I just want to be able to talk to him like I used to.
And you feel that's something that can happen?
I I have hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good. You kind of were a little hesitant there. Do you want to tell me about what's going through your head?
I just I have hope, but I'm not sure that we'll ever have like a good relationship again. I feel like the way he talks to me, the way he is, a lot of damage has been done. So
Yeah.
I'm not as open to him as I am my mom.
Okay. I think that makes sense. I think I think what that tells me also is that, you're kind of already in your mindset of putting yourself first, getting kind of things that are more achievable done first, maybe. So it would be a really big step to just jump in and have a deep conversation with your dad tomorrow. That's something that is a little further out, that more skills are kind of needed. Um, okay, okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about today, or anything you wanted to circle back to?
Um, no, not today.
Okay, all right. Um, then we've got our roadmap for what treatment's going to look like. And next week, maybe we can pick up and I can talk to you a little bit about what some options for skill building and what therapy might look like moving forward. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I can prepare all of that for you. Um, in the meantime, what do you have going on this coming week?
Well, I have a date.
Yeah.
Uh,
How are you feeling about it?
well, I don't know. It's because it's different than like our coffee date. Like, it was this coffee. Well, I got
Mhm.
tea, but I don't know. I've never had a relationship before or done anything with anyone, so
Mhm.
I'm nervous about it. But like he's not pressuring me for anything. Um, but like I'm kind of scared that like he'll turn out to be like my dad, like caring at first and then just
Mm.
really abusive,
Mm.
which is
Okay.
why I decided to date it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that sounds, that's something you've been thinking about a lot.
Yeah, like whenever guys would ask me out or whatever, I would just say no. Like
Mm,
I just kept to myself. I was just scared of that.
okay.
Um, but he was in my psychology class, and so that's how I know him. And then I
Mm,
saw him when I went on a walk one day. He's like, "Hey, I haven't seen you on campus," and so I told him I dropped out and stuff. Um, but he was really nice.
good. I'm glad. That sounds, that sounds like, go ahead. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that sounds like it could be really positive. Well, I look forward to hearing about that, and we can talk a little bit more about kind of relationships and whatnot next week if you'd like. Awesome. Okay. Well, have a good week, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.